In this lesson, we are going to learn about space figures. And not these kind of space figures, we're learning about these kind of space figures, or basically three-dimensional figures. The figures below are examples of common three-dimensional figures, which are also called space figures or solids. A prism has two parallel bases that are congruent, or basically equal polygons. And polygons, we know, are just shapes. So on this prism here, we have our bases up top and up bottom, or down on the bottom. And they have lateral faces, basically on the side, they're parallelograms. So here, you see that they have rectangles on each side. A pyramid has a base that is a polygon, okay? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a square like in the picture. It could be a hexagon or a pentagon. Here we have a square on the bottom, and that's our base. And then the lateral faces, or basically the sides, are triangles. And on a pyramid, the sides will always be triangles. A cylinder has two parallel bases that are congruent circles. So up top we have a circle, and on the bottom we have a circle, and they're both equal. A cone has one circular base, so here we see on the bottom, and then one vertex up at top. And then we have a sphere, which is a set of all points in space that are a given distance from a given point called the center. Which sounds confusing, but what it's basically saying is that in this sphere, or basically three-dimensional circle, we have a center, and the sphere is made up of points that are all an equal distance away from the center. Before we move on, let's clear up the confusion between triangular prisms and pyramids. Remember, prisms have two bases. Okay, so here and here, whereas a pyramid only has one base down here. Also, the most noticeable is that the sides of a prism are rectangles, or parallelograms. Whereas the sides on a pyramid are always triangles. You can use the shape of the base to help you name the figure. So let's look at this one first. The bases are triangles, as we can see right here, and the sides are rectangles. Therefore, it's a triangular prism. Now let's look at this shape. The bases of the prism are trapezoids, as we can see right here and right here. And the sides are rectangles, or parallelograms, as we can see here. So it's a trapezoidal prism. A net is a pattern that you can form into a space figure or a three-dimensional figure. Think of it as a pattern that you can cut and fold to make a 3D model of that shape. So if we look at the figure below, we see the net of a cube, kind of like the map of it. And you kind of have to use your imagination a little to pretend like you're folding each side up and in. Okay? And when you fold all the sides together, it will create a cube. Let's try naming these space figures. Remember that if you can use your imagination a little to visualize the sides folding up, it will make it easier for you to identify the shape and to picture it. So on the first example, the sides are triangles, as we can see here, and the base is a hexagon. So the shape is a hexagonal pyramid, and when it's folded up, we can see it here, the sides and the base. And let's look at the next example. The sides are rectangles here, here, and here, and corresponding to here. And we have two triangular bases here and here. So when you fold it all together, you get one of these, called a triangular prism. Try these on your own and let us know if you have any questions. We'll go over them tomorrow.